All right. Loading screens, loading screens.
Elite Vanguard.
Oh, it feels good to be back in the old ship again. Doot. All right, let's take a look at the map view here and see where I am. Right now I'm in Hera's He Was Twin 1. Just kind of poking around in there. What am I doing over there? There's a Xenon stronghold down there somewhere, isn't there? Are you with me, Nama?
Yeah, there is.
Sorry. I thought I lost you for a second there, buddy.
Yeah, well, I just had to mute it. Basically, you aware?
Mm-hmm.
He were twin, yeah?
Yeah, I'm in He Was Twin 1, and
Alright.
I'm headed to He Was
Proceed.
Twin 2, I believe.
Yeah, from He were twin 2, there'll be a gate southeast from where you come out. So head to the southeast side of the sector.
Yep.
And that gate will lead to Company Regard. And Company Regard is literally next door to one of their arrival points.
Yep.
And that's where I'm blocking them at. And that's where one of my fleets are.
Yeah, I've got I had a blockade going on in I had a blockade going on there in my other game. A really good blockade. I'd even started going into their space a little bit.
Well, in any case, that's one point of access. The second point of access is always from Company Regard.
Yeah.
On the east side, Middle East side. Okay. It's
Yep.
almost slap bang in the middle of that highway. And that will lead you to Turquoise Sea. Okay. And southwest of there, slightly southwest, okay, more in the middle, and then go slightly west, the extreme south, there is another warp gate, and that takes you to the other side of their sector, because their sector is literally divided into two mini hexes.
That's right.
Got green scale, they've got scale plate green 1 and scale plate green 7, I think it's called. A bit of German.
Yeah.
Anyway. So that's how I block them down there, and that's where they stay, and that's where they will be, as far as I'm concerned. All their other sectors have been destroyed. But the funny thing is that this game doesn't end it there, because according to the lore of the story, they appear from like nowhere, sort of thing. They create themselves, kind of thing. So their bases actually respawn willingly in areas where they could kind of appear.
Right.
Similar to the starting areas. Not necessarily the same starting areas from what I've seen. And this has been like 3 days after I've cleared them in every other area, apart from there where you are now, where I've got my 2 fleets blockading them on the side.
I'm thinking about, in this game, setting up a blockade at Hardakov's Choice 1. The gateway at the top of the map next to Argon Prime.
Yeah. There they have another sector which I also took, because they're gonna come in directly from Farker's Cascade, which is due north from there. It's the first little area, but they don't have their real habitats there. Their real habitats are actually in Matrix 79B. That's where their main base is. That's a bit further up, so you're gonna have to go through another mini sector through there called Farker's Cascade, whatever, and literally from there that's linked to that final area. So you're more than likely to find structures as soon as you go into that first Farker's Cascade from that Hatkivar Choice 1, basically. As soon as you go north, that's directly their area already.
All right.
Okay? It's 2 mini hexes, which will lead to their main area. If you don't secure that area, and another thing, as soon as you go into that area in particular, all right?
Okay.
If you've got small fighters, don't bring them. They will get eaten away by some form of, I believe, space radiation or whatever, and it eats through their shields and then through their hulls, and then they dissolve into thin air.
So only take medium ships?
Only medium ships with at least, decent shields.
Okay.
I would say, at least.
Yeah.
And realistically, if you want to block it, I wouldn't even bother with that. Just go to destroyers and stick them on the gate.
I think that's what I'm going to do. Try to get some
destroyers. But not even the gate. You've got to really block the highway which leads into the other sector from there. And that's the only thing you can do if you want to have a good offensive block, because there are two gates there. One which leads to where you're at, and the other one which leads up north. Now, willingly, they might go up north, but the likelihood of them doing that isn't going to happen. They're more than likely to surround you and then totally decimate. So, there is a highway there which leads to that secondary sector.
Yep.
It's a mini hex. If you can block that, that's their only way in and out, literally.
So basically, I need to set up two separate blockades in Holocaust's choice.
No, just the one on the highway.
Okay.
The entrance and exit of the highway. That's the only way they're going to get there. And from there, they will go out north and south gate. That's why, if you block, or else you'll be forced to use at least 2 fleets. This way, as soon as they come through that highway, even if they were to come through with a I class or a K class, and you've got a few destroyers there, they're more than likely to destroy him, because before he hones in on the target, it's going to be a bit late on his shields.
Yeah.
If they're on defense and they're doing their jobs properly. Realistically speaking, you should have the advantage of firing the target.
Man, destroyers are so far. Destroyers are so far off, it's not even funny right now.
Well, that's the only thing you can really do.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I would suggest. I mean, personally, I wouldn't worry about that area. First secure one area, take baby steps, because if you try to push,
did you see that shit?
No, because I'm looking at my screen. I'm looking at the map, my map.
So, I just flew into Holocaust's choice, and I was insta-killed. They've got 2 I-class destroyers sitting there already. So Holocaust's choice is no...
I did tell you it is their area. I didn't know about the destroyers because, how the hell was I supposed to know? That's why they make recon ships, the little fast ones, because they're little and fast. And that's what I usually do. I send in a little recon, to recon for me, because even if there's destroyers, a fleet of ships, they're so fast and nimble, especially something like the Pegasus, for example. If you want the fastest, that's what you need. And that's what I got. With the Pegasus, you fly in and you fly out. In and out without them even realizing it.
Outstanding. The Pegasus is, who makes the Pegasus?
I believe I got it from the Taladi guys. Let me just check.
Taladi's.
Gosh.
Well, here we are again.
Vanguard.
Oh, Paranids. We can get it from the Paranids. Thank you for your input there. Oh man, come on.
Well, I can't remember who I got it from, but yeah, it's probably the best thing to get at this moment in time. But I'm pretty sure I got it from Teladi. Let me just see. From the small wharf. No, it's not.
Paranids. It's the Paranids.
Paranids.
Buy ships. It is a small...
Yeah, you're right.
The Pegasus Vanguard
Trinity
Scout.
Sanctum, is it? No, Holy Retribution.
Ooh, that's a nice looking ship. What do you equip it with? Like a, well, I guess money's going to be a problem. Maybe a medium preset?
It's the Scout one, yeah, you got. The Scout version, Pegasus Vanguard Scout, right? Not the fighter.
Yeah, the Pegasus Vanguard Scout. And I'm just looking at loadouts right now. Should I go with a... Let's just look at a high preset. It's 1.5 million for a high preset.
Right. It's recon. Personally, I try to make it stay out of combat, also because it's not a great idea to make these little things go into combat. So it's mainly travel MK3s for me
Okay.
as engines.
So go with a.
The thrusters I used all round, not combat, again, because he's recon. His job is not combat, okay?
So you use
Shields,
like
the best you can put on. The power shields, MK3,
All
for
right.
example. And then weapon-wise, whatever you fancy. I mean, realistically, the only thing I do with that is crystal hunting now and again. Really, I don't have anything to do, sort of thing. But
All
that's
right.
what I used to do, like, initially when I had cash.
Software. What software does the scout need? Does he need trading? Probably not.
It's not required. He doesn't have to trade.
That's only 12,000 credits anyway. I'm not going to worry about
I
that.
mean, I'll be honest. That stuff, I always max it out. I don't give a shit.
Okay. Docking computer
I just
2.
prefer to have like all the best there is internally, because at least
Yeah.
I know if I want to do something, it does it fairly automated without screwing up.
Okay.
Oh, and what do you have to do? What I do with that, I always carry at least, even though it does cost a lot, 20 advanced satellites. Now, in your case, if you're tight for cash, just go for 20 satellites. But remember, the advanced ones are really good because it's a hell of a warning beacon. Literally, it will see with like a nice big circumference anything which comes within a certain range. Okay?
Cheapest
And that's
gun.
a hell of a warning. It allows you to see, then come with Ks and Is, prepare your defense, or to bug out. You know, if you have to back off from a situation because, you know, there's no point fighting a losing war, right? You might as well run away to fight another day, sort of thing. So
Right.
doing a tactical retreat now and again isn't such a bad idea, based upon certain situations.
All right,
You
I'm
can try
gonna.
and hold them off. Use mines. Use laser turrets, for example. That's what I usually do if I want to like try and slow them down a bit, but it just slows them down. They will go through that shit in minutes. Buys you time. I can assure you.
Yeah.
And to be honest, the mines, I think, against the AI are like useless. So don't even waste your cash on the mines, really. Not for these sort of things. Not
Okay.
for blockading. I would. The laser turrets, yeah, the Mark II ones, though, not the Mark Ones.
All right.
They cost a lot more, but you know, you can actually pause your ship on the map. You go onto the options, for example, and you want to drop 100 of them exactly on the same position. Yeah, and trust me, this works. Okay, you just select the mine and you just like drop all of them automatically. Will drop all of them in the same place, and that's one hell of a defensive turret you've just created, and it works out a lot cheaper than many other. It's not really that effective. It stalls them. So if you have a few ships doing that, and they dump like 100 here, 100 there, you're laughing. It's a nice way also to stop them from reconstructing bases at times.
Hell yeah.
But it's usually best to take down the wharf. You take that down, the shipyard you can push in. They construct a lot less.
All right, I'm going to butcher this username, but Arium Galanti. Arm Galanti. I've got a. He's saying that you always need to make sure you have the cheapest gun, just in case you want to open a lockbox or something. On your scout.
Yeah, that also works out fine. Really. I mean, I'm usually the one who jumps out and does it the other way, but that actually works out a lot better. It's a lot safer.
Yeah.
But realistically speaking, I hardly ever do it like that because I'd rather have myself covered by escorts, protecting literally my position. Even when you do missions, you can do that. I'll give you an example. If you try and do a mission and you've got the AI, it won't allow you to do the mission. You probably already realized this. But you can pilot the ship and you can tell the AI to protect your ship or to protect a certain specific area. Anyone who goes near you or your ship is going to be confronted by your guards. Your own personal guards are going to jump on them and ravage them.
Yeah.
In front of your eyes, and you'll be like, geez, what's up, guys? You know, take it easy. Fine.
The biggest problem that I have with doing that right now is that if you put yourself in a fleet, your pilot is brain dead. If your AI pilot turns brain dead, he stops using the highways and shit.
Use them yourself. Well, that seems a
Yeah.
bit odd. Maybe due to piloting skill not being very high. I mean, I've got all my pilots like minimal 2 stars. Why? Because initially I usually send them out as they go around, they do a bit of mining, trading, transaction stuff, auto mining, whatever. Yeah, they get a few pilot levels on that and other stuff up. Okay, good. So if they're 2 stars, it should be okay. They should be able to follow those routes. If they're less than that, they do really strange stuff. I mean, I'll give you an example. On one map, I wanted them to go on the opposite side, taking the longest route, and I even plotted singular waypoints to direct them, through certain areas. What did they do? They totally ignored these waypoints and they went direct. Some things like that I'm used to seeing in like the first Command and Conquer game ever made. Okay, 20 years have passed since then, sort of. You get what I'm saying? That is unforgivable as a mistake. I would say that's, one major problem in my point of view, because that means instead of going around the enemy, they're going straight through them. No matter what I would do, those 2 rattlesnakes would just go straight through. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It really annoyed me. So, keeping this in mind, you have to try and confront the situation in the best way and prepare them to take into consideration that the AI isn't perfect and sometimes it does some really stupid things. Things like, there is a base, guys, we're like within range, fire your guns. Their guns, even if you set them to like, the furthest range possible, as in don't interact with certain specific targets sort of thing, in theory, only the large turrets ought to interact with the structure, yeah?
Right.
And they still move in. And they still, if you're not there, I've seen it happen to me loads of times, they still move in. I've seen it happen to other players where if they're leading the fleet, and even if I lead, they don't move in. They stay with me. They stay exactly where they are.
Right.
I can go off, get me a coffee, and they won't die. 90% of the time. But then again, you have to keep a sharp eye on them, because now and again you get someone who just needs to push forwards, just to get in close to the target, apparently.
I think, what am I looking at here? Do you like the Behemoth Vanguard? The Behemoth?
That is my go for taking down stations from range, because it's cheap.
It's got those 10-kilometer batteries too, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's why. That is I prefer. It takes time. Okay, takes time. Fine. I'd rather take time than losing. On average, a destroyer would cost you around 20k fully decked.
Yeah, exactly.
20 mil fully decked on average. So 100k is only 5 destroyers on average. But with behemoths, and if your reputation is high with those guys, it will cost you around, I think, 17, 18k fully decked, which means you'd probably be able to get like 6 for 100 sort of thing. How did I do this? I sent in a load of miners. They mined for them. They got my rep up to like over 20, almost like 30. You get a big, massive, fat discount, and this is what allows you to make nice purchases without being totally ravaged by expenses. And another thing I also noticed, if you don't fund your bases, if they're constructing stuff, they won't construct them because lack of funds. So yeah, sure, you see all that cash in the bank, you think, I can take all that. No, it doesn't quite work like that. You got to pay the maintenance, the way the base runs, all the manufacturing costs and stuff. It costs that amount, but you will make a profit of it. Just always leave them the estimate. Don't take more than the estimate. It will do it for you, and it will automatically deposit the cash, which you take safely into your pockets without screwing over your production, which means maximum profit.
All right, I managed to get a scout into Heart of Claw's Choice without dying.
Yep. Yeah, what you do is like push him through, explore the gate. He'll charge through. You always keep a sharp eye on the screen. As soon as he goes through the screen, what I usually do is hit pause. Why? To reflect and decide where I want to send him. And then I send him in a straight line in whatever direction to recon around the area just to see where they are. And then I place, for example, my satellites on the opposite side from where they are. Like there's a gate, instead of placing it where they are nearest to the gate, I place it nearest to the gate, but the opposite side from where they are. so it's
Right.
less risk. Okay, that's the whole idea, because it's fast to deploy. It will go there, deploy, and then fly away. Make sure you program each line and route. That's what I do, like a mini hex, just to get around the entire map. So if anything
Exactly.
comes along, you're gonna have to really watch it carefully. Trust me. And one of the worst maps to do this on is the one in the down southwest, because there's a minefield there.
Southwest.
Yeah,
Like True Sight, Holy Vision, somewhere down in there.
yeah, towards Faulty Logic. It
Okay.
is Faulty Logic 7, I believe. Yeah, Faulty Logic 7 is a minefield. For misfortune.
All right. Let me see if I can get this guy to put a.
No, Faulty Logic was a minefield. Yeah, that was it. Faulty Logic 1 was ridiculous. And the worst thing is, if you go there as a player, you're just blowing up on the mines. You have to send in the AI to fly past the mines, then you can take over the ship. It's, I believe, a sort of oversight. And the worst thing is, I even looked it up. Can you clear the minefield? Wouldn't that be great? You can, to an extent. But unfortunately, after a certain amount of time, every single mine will respawn. So why waste your time on that shit? In theory, and I still have to verify it, okay? The sector is mine. I've claimed it. I've already had it for at least a couple of days now.
Right.
And in theory, those mines should become green, in theory. In practice, I haven't checked it, personally. I will probably do a save, then I'll go there in person, just to make sure I don't fly through the gate and get blown up instantly on one of those random mines. So that's the only way you can confront that area. I've even got a station there, which is hilarious.
All right, man. All right, I got some good satellites down in Hardikov's Choice, so I can keep an eye on what they're up to.
Yeah, at least you know which direction they're going to go, and you can stop them in time, or based upon what they're coming at you with, you can back out. And I would suggest do this in every area they're hanging out, sort of thing, just to keep an eye on them. This will allow you to plan out your next move. In times of peace, we prepare for war. This is the reason.
Move this order.
A lot of people think, yeah, well, recon, who gives a shit? It's indispensable to have a decent recon. If you don't have a decent recon, you don't have any decent intel. Without having any intel, you don't know where you're going to get hit from, how, and when.
Exactly. That's why I like to get down into that green scale. What is that called? Scale plate, green scale, something down there.
Yeah.
I actually took a scout, and I knew I was going to sacrifice him, but I flew him through their sector, dropping advanced satellites everywhere I could, because I wanted to know what the hell those guys were up to. That's how when you were talking earlier about
what they do.
Yeah, you were talking earlier about them respawning. I've actually watched them respawn. They don't use the same economy that we use. They just generate ships.
Well, I don't know, kind of. I mean, I'll give you an example. Green plate, scale plate green, yeah, that entire hex of 2 hexes, I will leave it to them. I'll use it as my farm spot. I'll explain why. It does apparently have resources which they use in there. I've seen their miners because I've got the satellites up, so I'm keeping them as they are mining in their own sector. Occasionally they send out their miners, but it means if they've got the resources, they're not going to die out completely. So less reason for them to become totally aggressive and come out.
Right.
Then they also do come out with Ks and Is. But if they're coming out at 1 at a time, or even if they try to come out with 2 at a time, by this time, a lot of defense is set up properly, and the cheapest, best defense is a good defense platform on different levels. Yeah, there's various videos I've seen, pictures of people, defense platforms which cost almost as much as a destroyer, but I can assure you, it will destroy even an eye.
This sucks. My mining ships are just sitting there, not selling anything. They're not
Then they're
docking.
probably too far from wherever. The pilot is probably a low level. You know, you can't get them to mine it anyway. Initially, you have to take care of what they're doing and send them off to the right place, or you know, or to mine near where there are resources where they actually could sell them in the same area. Because if they have to go further than one sector, it becomes a bit messy. You're gonna have to do a lot of micromanagement, each one almost individually. I ain't got time for that shit. So I just send them to the designated areas where I know full well. Look, there's a station that buys ores. Look, there's another station you can. It sells and buys ice. Yeah, cool. Right, you can go there. There's the ice field. I need to go and do that. I don't see any point, yeah, in getting them to mine somewhere and go somewhere else unless they've got more than one star. Rarely, because each star, in theory, is an extra sector they could jump to
Right.
on their own. Yeah, you want them to
Well,
be like automated to
for
do their own shit
instance,
without you worrying about it.
here is a ship sitting in the void with a full load of Navidium, and there is a Argon trading station in the same sector. So I should be able to right click on that and say trade with, and I should be able to sell my Navidium, but I can't. Yeah, I can't sell it. Alright. I guess nobody's buying Navidium right now. What is Navidium used for? Helium. I don't know what the hell Navidium is used for. Fair enough.
We found something out here. Awaiting orders.
Now where does that accelerator go? Guess I lost you, man.
something out here.
We found something out here. Of course you did.
Entering S1E2.
Awaiting orders.
Hello.
Let's do some flying around for a little bit.
Awaiting orders.
Whoa. Hello. I am sorry that I missed you last night. I had my chat minimized. How are you today? I'm sorry I can't pronounce your username. Good to hear it. Good to hear it. So what is going on? What are you up to today? Do you have any plans?
Asteroid.
Boring days as of recent. For real. I think we're all feeling that. Come on. Collect them. Huh. You did pick up X4 the other day. Yeah, did you catch it on sale? Did you catch it when it was on sale? I hope so.
Asteroid.
My ship is being scanned.
Asteroid.
Nice. I'm glad you got it on sale, man. It's a fun little game. What have you? Do you play a lot of open world, kind of free, sort of roam around, do whatever you like, sort of games? Freelancer and Dwarf Fortress. Hell yeah. Shout out to Dwarf Fortress.
Asteroid.
We're going to sneak up here next to this Navidium asteroid, and we're going to drop us a thingy. Boop, boop, doo, boop, 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 doo. Alright, I am right next to this motherfucker. Hey, it did. It worked. Playing a map game in X4. Yes. Yes, you are playing a map game. But it is what you make of it. There's people that play there's people that play it almost like you do Freelancer from a first person perspective. And then there's people that want to manage ships and manage stations and all kinds of shit like that. I saw a Navidium asteroid over here again.
Asteroid.
Gonna fly right past it and drop us another resource probe. Mining and trading within the first 2 hours. Already got loads of mining ships and sectors being mapped out. Mad with a discovering ship. Hell yeah. Now, my miners are giving me shit right now. Oh, it looks like they're starting to do their thing again. They're just being real slow. But yeah, Navidium miners make mad money. Right now I am crystal mining. Have you tried any crystal mining out yet? It's a good thing to do while you're waiting for other stuff to happen. Crystal hunting, what I'm doing right now. No, not mining for... Not mining. I'm not talking about regular mining that you can automate. I'm talking about crystal farming. That's what I'm doing right now. Hang on a second. Let's... What we're looking for... Look at the rocks, man. Check out the rocks. Let's just check out the rocks for a second. What we're looking for is a little sparkle somewhere. Yeah, this isn't for trading. This is... Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. You don't get out at all. But if you're looking to enjoy the universe a little bit, grab yourself a little ship and go out and do some crystal farming. You can make quite a bit of money. You make a couple of million credits here and there doing it. And it doesn't really take as long as it seems like it does. But we're looking for little sparkles. That may be one over there. No, that's not one. That's the wrong kind of sparkle. That's somebody's marker lights. Did your station get attacked? Is that what happened? Oh. They blow up your station, man. No, you got the dreaded game over screen. You missed it earlier. I got the dreaded game over screen just a minute ago. I jumped into Artiklov's Choice, right in between two K-class destroyers. That was the end of me. Oh, it's just some random station. So at least you didn't lose a station. You were just chilling, though. COVID-19? No, not quite. Man, I've got some of the hardest damn usernames to try to pronounce. EvGenuXP2. Man, that's a rough one. I'm not gonna get that one. What should I call you? E? Or X? Or XP? Get yourself a carrier, man. You need a carrier. Alright. Speaking of map view, hang on a second. I know we're farming crystals, but let's go to the map view here for a minute. No, let's go to my bank account. Shit, I got 2.5 million sitting in my fucking inventory. Alright. Let's take a look. Where is everybody? My scout is in Artikov's Choice 3. You think we should invest? What should we be mining? I want to explore that. Yeah. I need to. Storage. Like this guy right here. Let's look at this guy. Remove all orders and assignments. He's got an empty hull. Why don't you go? Information. Behavior. Sector auto mine. Where? Silicon. Where do you want to mine it? There. Select. Confirm. Do they even have a silicon refinery? They don't even have a silicon refinery. Where is that fucking miner? Who's this guy? No. Okay. What are you doing? No, get rid of that. Thank you. Now go to fucking Aragorn Prime and mine some ore. Oh my god. You're the worst. Fly to. Alright. I need to find another empty ship. No. 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 Motherfucker. Be great if I could find an empty ship. Alright. Maybe I'll just make some. Yeah, that's a whew, it can be a little bit of a grind early on until you kind of get things going. I'd recommend, especially if you haven't explored the entire map, I'd recommend at least jumping onto the superhighway. Jump onto the superhighway and then drop satellites down. You want to drop a couple of satellites down here in Holy Vision. Drop some here in Trinity Sanctum 3. Drop a couple up in Prophet Center Alpha. No, not the. What I'd recommend first of all is getting the wharfs. What I would really recommend is a series of mods, because I play a modded version of the game. I like mods. I'm a big mod guy. So if you're not a mod guy, you should probably just say so. If you like, there's nothing wrong with playing the vanilla game, but I like mods. Yeah. So you're looking at me on Twitch right now. Go find me on YouTube. And on YouTube, I have a list of mods that I use. On YouTube in the description for the video. On YouTube, it's Corey Helms. CoreyHelms. See if you can find me over there and take a look at my mod list, man. Nah. Shokanshi. Is that right? Shokanshi? Sweet. Where you at, man? All right, if you're taking a look at my mod list, there's one that's called Sector Satellites, I believe. Ohio, huh? Shokanshi from Ohio. I don't know about all that, man. Ohio. What's in Ohio? Is there Ohio? There's got to be something in Ohio worth seeing. There's got to be something there. Nothing. Well, that just sucks. I'm in Georgia, so we've got quite a bit going on here. Cedar Point. See, I knew you had something. You got Cedar Point. Cedar Point is nice. Two nuclear plants. Yep. Yeah.
Awaiting orders.
Quite a few places like that. But so what do you like to do besides play video games? You do any fishing, or what is there to do in Ohio? Snowmobiling, maybe? Farmlands. Yeah. Yeah. You got into radio. So, you talking like ham radio? So with the amateur band, you're limited in power. Is that correct? You were able to take the no-code test, and you're limited in how much power you can transmit. I don't know about the Mars band. I don't know anything at all about Mars band. $200 or something. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But so with 200 watts, you just don't get the you don't get the range that you need, because my my grandfather was into CB, Citizens Band radio, and he also had a ham. He also had a ham license, and he did ham radio sometimes, not very often. But it was something that he was interested in. General class. Oh, you need a better antenna? Um hmm. Oh yeah, you can't do that. Information. Vector auto mine. Was auto mine or an Aragorn Prime? Confirm. I know you're talking about diversifying the portfolio, man, but God, this just sucks. To not fill up with Nevidium. Alright. Let me check it. Let me catch up with you. Alright. If you had good money, you'd put up a 80 meter band shot across continent. My location and monetary cost out. Little town would put up with a tower in my backyard. Yeah, I built two more mineral miners, and I did change one Nevidium guy over, but my Nevidium guys are just kind of sitting there. Look at this. I guess he's kind of moving. What are your orders right now? What are you doing? Nothing. You're doing nothing. You have no... You're just tooling around, burning fuel. With a belly full of ore. That's what I'm talking about, man. Nevidium. I think I've got too many Nevidium miners. There's just too many of them. So I've got to catch them once. I've got to catch them when they offload. catch them when they're empty, and then tell them to go do something else. Dump those couriers. We need more medium miners with Mark II mining lasers and 2 mining turrets. I'm a little... yeah... I'm a little conflicted over that. I don't know if having the better mining laser and the mining turrets helps. I don't know if it helps. I've had ships that were like fully outfitted, and I've had them that were not fully outfitted, and there's really no difference in them. NPCs do, maybe so, man. Maybe so. Maybe I should bring some of these guys in and refit them. Should dump the couriers, though, huh?
Please halt. We will be scanning your inventory.
Alright, so maybe I should bring in some of these guys and refit them.
All done. You can go about your business.
Let's just check out something here. Grade repair at. Alright. Let's look at the engines. Combat. Why does he have a combat engine? Let's give him that all-around Mark 1 engine. Thrusters. All-around Mark 1 thrusters. He doesn't need combat shit. Shields. We'll give him a good shield. Weapons. Mark II mining drill. Turrets.
My ship is being scanned.
Mark 1 turret. Mark 1 turret. You want to go with shield Mark 1? Shield Mark 1 will do. Alright, turrets. Alright, he's got the Mark 1 turret. Software. Let's give him all that shit. Why not? Consumables. Let's give him some fucking resource probes. But who cares? It's cheap anyway. Exactly. Alright. Can I save this as a loadout? Save it as medium miner. Save as new. Medium miner. Alright. Add to shopping list and buy it. Confirm order. That was this guy. This guy. Yep, yep. Can I do the same thing here? Medium miner. Add to shopping list. Confirm order. Where the fuck are you? There you are. Yeah, they really are nice. But I think it gets... How do you deal with your unassigned ships list? Doesn't that get a little out of hand? Yeah, you have to name them. All right. Yeah. You don't really care that it's a Plutus Sentinel. Yeah. I got you. I got you. All right. Engines. All around Mark 1. Mark 2 mining drill. Turret. Turret. Software. Give him everything. Consumables. Five resource probes. Add to shopping list. Confirm order. Yeah, I don't think it really matters. I think I mean, the Argon ships are fairly well balanced, one way or the other. But yeah, it is. Vanguards are faster, and Sentinels. Maybe it's the other way around. Vanguards, just for that. So the Vanguards are faster, and the Sentinels are heavier or have higher armor. Sentinels have more armor and cargo. I go for more cargo usually. All right, this guy. Wait, Sentinels. Okay, yeah. Talati large Sentinel miner carries so much. You like those miners, don't you? Oh, you like the large miners. You like the large miners? Those are crazy, man. Oh. Alright. You do like the large because they look cool. They are slow and not as... Yeah, I imagine a large miner full of tellurium is nice. Or, what am I saying? Tellurium. Nevidium. I think, have you started building your own station yet? Have you started building your own station yet? So what you want to do is you want to build yourself a, they call it a level 1, they call it a tier 1 mining station. You want a tier 1 mining station. Basically, you want a station that does, hang on, what is it? Okay, so you've got silicon, you've got ore, you've got methane, you've got hydrogen, and you've got helium. And those turn into silicon wafers, refined metals, graphene, antimatter cells, and superfluid coolant. So you want a station with a silicon wafer factory, a refined metal factory, a graphene factory, an antimatter cell factory, and a superfluid coolant factory. You want one station that's got all those things together. And then you will assign your miners to that station, and you promote a station manager. No, you're not selling... No, you don't sell it to yourself. They gather it, and they produce...
My ship is being scanned.
They produce silicon wafers. They produce... Yeah, exactly. You make more money from crafting. You make a shit ton more money than just mining. But you need about... stations are money makers. A tier one production facility is a money maker, and you need to get yourself ready for it. How many credits you got in the bank? I got like 1.3 million. And then I got another, say, 2 million or so. So let's say altogether I've got about 5 million that I can come up with. You need about 20 million. And when you hit about 20 million, you can start looking at building your first station. It's not going to cost 20 million, but you need to have a good income in order to support building a station. You got like 500,000 in the bank. Give me 500 million in the bank. You're getting 67 million per hour. Fuck, dude. Just off of mining? Oh. You got 500,000 in the bank because you keep buying ships. I got you. Yeah, and yeah, you're gonna want to stop doing that. You're gonna want to stop doing that. Build a station, dude. On YouTube, search for a guy named Captain Collins. Have you run across Captain Collins yet? On YouTube? Captain Collins has some excellent tutorials on everything that you need to... hey, thanks for the subscription. Or follow, or whatever it was. That's awesome. No, that's fine. It's whichever one you prefer. I kind of broadcast to both. So some people like YouTube, some people like Twitch. I'm not really going for anything on either site. I'm just making these videos for myself. And maybe for you guys. Alright. Mining ships, mining ships, mining ships. We were talking about a station though. Captain Collins. Check out Captain Collins, man. He's legit. Alright. I got all my ships to yeah, you could have been making a lot more money. You know the process. Have you seen the process? I can go through the process real quick without actually doing anything. But, yeah, like, let's say, where am I right now? Okay, first of all, you have to be in sector. So what sector am I in? I'm in this sector. Kinda, but I'll show you. Okay, so you have to be in the sector, right? And then you go to manage plots. All right, sorry, man. I had to talk to. I got a chance to talk to my wife. I like that. I like when she texts me, man. It's nice. All right. So anyway, here we go. We go into manage plots, and you'll see that the map goes away. It just shows the one sector that you're in. And you will go, this is X, Y, and Z direction. You'll go create new plot, and you'll get this green square. Alright. Now, you want to put this green square somewhere that you feel like you want to build a station, so we'll just say here. Boop doop. Alright. And then you want to buy the license. And I am not going to buy the license. How can I show you this? Alright, but anyway, you set down this plot. Let's just, yeah, you're right, it's pretty cheap. It's pretty cheap, and I may want to come back and develop this at some point, so who knows. Buy a license. Oh, this is what I wanted to show you. The license costs depending on where you are in relation to the gates. So, like, I can take this and still move it. 64,000, 64,000, 64,000. Okay. This is just going to be a default 64,000. But if you were to build it in a different sector, it might cost more, it might cost less. Does that make sense? Yes. Yes, you can. Yes, you could absolutely do that. All right, but anyway, you're going to buy the license, and then you're going to continue. This opens you up to the builder screen. All right, and it just kind of looks empty. You got this empty little square. You want to go dock modules, pick yourself out a docking module, and plop it down. See how it appears kind of in the middle, but off to one side? We'll zoom in here a little bit. It's going to be your docking module. Now let's say, this docking module is kind of, it's associated this way. Let's say I want to rotate it. I'm going to click on it one time, then I'm going to right click, and I'm going to drag. So I'm going to drag it around to like that. So that's how the docking module will be associated or oriented. Actually, let's go back the other way. I like the other way better. Bloop. All right. Other modules, base 1. Plop it down, click it, right click, drag. You'll see these green little lines pop up. Then it just snaps on. Right click.
Hey, I'm back.
Copy module. Hey, how's it going? I'm building.
I had an emergency call. I didn't even have a chance to say I gotta go.
All right. I'm going through building a station right now, so just give me a second, all right? All right, we're gonna go vertical module. But you kind of get an idea of how you build your station. And then once you have the frame that you want, you have the station kind of looking the way that you want, then you can start looking at adding production modules. So the only ones that you own by default are energy cells and meat. Let's go energy cells.
We're taking hits.
Who's taking hits? Yes. Nobody's taking hits. Man, don't you hate that shit? Alright, plots. There we go. But, oops. Continue. There we are. Yeah. Yeah, there was. Alright. The one thing I wanted to show you here, dock modules. We'll just do a basic one. Dock module. Alright. And then solar. Now, see, I can't add this onto the end because it's out of my plot. Do you see that? How it extends out of my plot. If that happens, you've got two choices. You can either drag your base around until you can place it validly like that, right? Or you can go back to manage plot. You can actually increase the plot size. So just because you buy a plot at the smallest size doesn't mean you can't go back later and resize the plot. I know I'm not doing a great job of going through it, but that's more or less the basics of how you do it. No. You don't really have to plan everything. And is there a good place online with like blueprints of stations? Not necessarily blueprints, but like stock layouts that that work really good for like a tier 1 production facility? Do you know of anything like that? Noma? Are you there, Noma?
Say again?
I was asking if you knew a place that has a good if you knew any place that has a good like a good layout for a tier 1 production facility.
Oh, like you can download construction plans, stuff like that, yeah?
Maybe not download construction plans, but I just want to look at what some other people have done and, know what works and what doesn't work for like a tier 1 facility.
I think if you do it was pretty generic. There was a Google thing for their on EgoSoft and Reddit with constructions, which showed their constructions. It gave even a brief explanation on how they were constructed, what components were used.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's you can lay it out by yourself. I think that's a lot more fun to try to lay it out myself. And I actually have in my other save game, I have got a pretty rockin' ass tier 1 production facility, but they do take a long time to build. Stations take a long time to build. Alright, where are we? You're in the void. Reset it to top view. How long does it take? About how long does it take to build a station? Maybe 2 or 3 hours in real time?
Even less. It depends on the size.
Yeah.
And how many platforms and all the rest of it.
Yeah, and how well you can get the materials supplied to build the station.
Yeah, I mean, if you already got the supplies, they start construction instantly.
Yeah.
Well, as soon as the construction guy reaches the plot.
But I'd highly recommend you go and take a look at Captain Collins' YouTube channel. He's got some really good tutorials on station building. He goes through the entire
HTF.
Hotel Tango Foxtrot.
Yeah, roger
HTF.
that. 10-4. Yeah, that one. That guy means how the fuck on YouTube, and he's got all the plans. I mean, that guy is a genius. Seriously, he shows you how to make the components used, everything. I've managed to make a self-sufficient dwarf. I did his one. He didn't have the exact plans, but all you have to do is follow the video, and I managed to replicate his exact plan, basically. So I've already got his plan, and it's working, and I can assure you the basic version will produce quite well. If you do even like the basic version, it's fine.
HTF Game Studios. Yeah, this guy.
Yeah. He's got a really strange accent. I mean, you might think, God damn it, it's Borat in space. And to be honest, yeah, it probably is. But he's good at doing what he's doing. And for that much, you have to respect the guy. So, yeah.
Hell yeah.
I think he's already sick and tired of the accent thing being brought up on all his YouTube videos. Everyone appears to have something to say about it. I mean, everyone's got a goddamn accent, right? Which is hilarious, because even if you go to place like the United States of America, it's divided into how many states, and each and every state has its own accent. So when I speak to a lot of Americans and say, you've got an accent, it's hilarious, because I think, fuck me, in your own country you've got like 50 different goddamn accents, and you've got the courage to turn around to me and say, you've got an accent.
Exactly.
That's wonderful, man.
Yeah.
They're geniuses sometimes.
Yep. Well, people are. I think people are generally looking for something to talk. People are looking for something to talk about, and I think instead of just asking you, like, I don't know, instead of asking you where you're from or something meaningful, something that they could actually learn something about, they just say, "Oh, you have an accent." You know, they're really trying to learn more about you, but they don't
Yeah,
know
they
how to
just come
ask.
across so fucking wrong. Exactly.
Yeah.
And it sounds so offensive in the end because realistically speaking, you know, when someone turns around and says that, which is hilarious because you've never said this crap, and I'm surprised. That's why I brought it up. Because you're from the United States, right?
Yeah,
Or
I'm from the
Canadian.
U.S.
Yeah. Because sometimes Canadians and US guys sound extremely similar, very, very similar, due to
Yeah.
the border, yeah? Because it's, you know. So when I take these things into consideration, I was like surprised that you never came out with that bullshit because 90% of guys I know from the US do. 90%.
Right.
Guys, girls, you know.
To
in
me,
general.
well, I spent a lot of time living overseas, so
Oh, okay.
I know what it's like to be a stranger in a strange land, and it doesn't. You know, I'm on YouTube and Twitch all the time on X4 and Condor, another game that I'm going to play here pretty soon, and I'm always on there with people from other countries. It's not even a thing to me. South Africa, UK, Dubai.
Yeah, I mean, the world's wonderful because it's, you know, there's many people, various people from all over the place. And the funny thing is when people drop the race card, you know, we've all got 2 legs, 2 arms, 1 head, you know, we're all part of the same goddamn race. It's called human race. But in any case,
Exactly.
some people really find that hard to be a concept, you know, and it's like, yeah, well, I'm glad that I'm mixed blood, so I don't give a fuck what other people think.
So when I was younger, I lived in Italy, and
I can speak it.
I could for a while, but I've lost the ability to speak Italian. It's just that's something
come
that I
on,
lost.
man! Everyone can speak it. Pizza, you know, goddamn it, pasta.
Yep.
Parmesan, cheese, you know?
Tiramisu.
Yeah, man, we love it.
Anyway,
Have some dessert.
but yeah, I lived in Italy, and I didn't really realize it at the time that the Italians to me were different people. They were just different from me. They were different people.
They're great. They're lovable, but the country's run like shit. But yeah, that's just my personal opinion.
Right, but I'm just saying, as far as the people, you know, it never connected with me that my Italian neighbor was going through a lot of the same things that I was going through.
Yeah, in Italy, accents are likewise.
Yeah,
even stronger than the US. I mean, there's a lot of, which is hilarious. Yeah. You know, a lot of countries have issues from people from the north and the south, you know, certain discriminants sort of things, which is hilarious because they're all people, yeah, in the end. Some say, oh, because those who come from the south are dirtier than... No, it's all the bullshit. Everyone's like equally dirty or clean or whatever, yeah. So,
right.
Yeah, you have to go around to see the way things are. So it's funny when you see people from the south say things against people from the north and people from the north against people from the south, you know, and you're sort of like an innocent bystander and you realize it's all bullcrap because each and every region, even there, has their own accent.
Yep.
And it's such a strong accent that it really strongly identifies them, probably even more so probably than certain US states, even though certain US states have got extremely strong accents. You know, and they know where you're from straight off the bat, straight away.
Exactly. The point where it really hit me that that everyone is the same, the point that it really hit me, I was in Japan, and I was down by a river doing something. I was flying an airplane down by the river, and I was looking at the river, and I saw a Japanese guy fishing. And I was flying my airplane, and I was watching this guy fishing.
And he waved.
And I was thinking... No, it was nothing like that, but he was fishing, and I was thinking, you know, my grandfather liked to fish.
Yeah, I mean, we all do the same shit to live. I mean, we all breathe air, we all eat food, we all drink liquid. Right. We're all...
You know, but it had it had never dawned on me before that, and then I started looking around, and I realized that, you know, the Japanese people were exactly the same as my people. there was no difference. We all have the same hopes,
And
the same
who
dreams.
are your people?
My people are rednecks. I am a redneck.
Are rednecks.
I'm a redneck. I'm a redneck from
Well,
Alabama.
How would you describe a reg? What is a redneck?
That's a very hard thing to do. So when I talk about myself being a redneck, I like hunting. I like fishing. I like football. Love football.
Wow. I don't know how this makes a person be like classed as being something. But in any case, it's fine. Yeah, please continue.
But those are my people. We grew up poor. We grew up without nothing.
Some of the
tend to work
definitions
from-
are like hillbillies, people which just
Yep.
live in the hills and never come down to town, sort of thing. Because to be honest, they don't
Yep.
give a shit about towns
Yep.
because they like where they are, and there's nothing wrong with being like that, But to call them it just seems like such a, I don't know, something which just doesn't coincide with modern day. I mean, if you look at the way
honk, honk.
major cities are, how many people would love to live out of their own city, love to live out in the countryside or at the seaside, for example? Loads.
Japan is honestly America 2.0. That's
Yeah. I mean, I played against a lot of Japanese guys back in the day on the PS3 on a game which was even in Japan. It's called MAG, which was a massive FPS online game. It was the first time on a previous gen they had 256 players on the same map. Unfortunately, the servers were run pretty badly, so it was just piling players who were just queuing up at any time, regardless of their region. So you would get even a lot of Japanese players, and Japan has got one of the world's fastest internet connections. So even when they were on the US server, it was as if they were playing at home or in the European server. It was just hilarious. It was just great players, man. I have to admit, very
Absolutely.
strong players, teamwork, everything.
So, what do you think about? No, I'm not going to get into that right now. I'm not going to get into
Go
that
for
right
it.
now.
Go for it. Go for it. Ask a question.
No, I've got about.
Go for it.
I've only got about 15 minutes before I have to.
Don't worry.
log
I
off.
can answer it within 2 minutes. Go for it. Go for it.
All right.
Let me see.
So, one of my YouTube one of my Twitch commenters says that Japan is America 2.0. He says it's what happens when you are in occupation for 20 plus years and American, Dutch, British influence for more than 80 years. So, what do you think about the influence of Western society, American, Dutch, British colonialism
There's
on
actually,
the world?
all right, I'll give you an example based on a true story,
Okay.
and it's a film.
All right.
Beautiful. I love the film. You might even have a wild guess which film it is. Let's see.
Let's see. Lawrence of Arabia or Empire?
No. Something which directly affected Japan. There you go. Massive clue there. Massive clue.
Was it Empire of the Sun?
No. About U.S. influence mainly.
I don't know. I'm drawing a blank right now.
The one with the samurais.
Oh, the Last Samurai?
Well done.
Yeah.
The story behind it. That is literally reflecting on historical facts. Literally, that film. Apart from,
it's
the mysterious figure is actually that captain, which is said to be maybe fictional, maybe true, sort of thing. It's kind of relative because it's the context of the entire thing. There was a certain level of intervention from the United States, and that sort of shit did actually happen. And after which it was decided to no longer be influenced by external bodies, shall we say,
right
on their own country, which is a fair deal. I mean, realistically speaking, every country has the right to be run the way they see fit because it's their country. That's the way, you know, you could have a civil war in a country. Why do you want to run away from it? I'm not saying civil wars are good, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I know.
But
What
if
you
you
mean.
want change, you might have to fight it, stay there. You're not going to change anything by running away
Right.
half the time.
And I don't. I'm not a huge fan of fighting somebody else's battles for them either.
Exactly.
I think
even that is ridiculous, and that is usually down to a certain level of globalism. Example, Africa. Africa's a beautiful country. It's a wonderful country, and it's one of the richest countries in the entire world on a level of natural resources. Unfortunately, many states, areas are manipulated by so-called warlords for cash revenues who can control certain resources, which then you find are being used to make your mobile phone, your portable PC, your Macintosh iPhone, etc., etc. Latest tech which you've got at home, maybe even your PS5 and latest Xbox as well.
Yeah.
And people don't realize kids, men, women, everyone's getting murdered for producing the crap you're enjoying at home. I'm not saying we should stop buying our shit, no. But that sort of crap should stop, really. And due to that influence, it means we could change that happening there, and not just there, you know, it's just one example. It's like, for example, Australia, which is ruining their own country because they're selling most of their raw materials to China, for example. Ridiculous. You're digging out your own, you're ruining your land and everything, and then you want to come out with all these funky rules that you want to conserve the natural habitat and stuff? Seriously? I mean, really? And they're selling the stuff off to China to cheap. Nothing against...
What's that? What was that last thing about selling stuff off to China for cheap?
China. Oh, I please me, I got a call.
Yeah, I think we're breaking up a little bit, just a little bit. That kind of sucks, man. I was enjoying that. I like to hear other perspectives on how the world looks to them, because for me it's you know, I have a very limited perspective. Damn it. All right, guys. I think I'm going to wrap it up here in about the next 10 minutes or so. I'm going to wrap it up, and I will be back in about 45 minutes with a different game. I'm going to be playing a flight simulator. It's called Condor. I'm not sure if you guys have ever heard of Condor Flight Simulator.
Okay, I'm back. No, I haven't heard of it. I've never tried it, to be honest.
All right. Hey, I was just explaining. I'm about to get off. I'm about to get off here for a little bit. I'm going to take me just a short break, and when I jump back on, I'm going to be playing Condor.
Okay, dude. Have a good one.
All right. Have a
Catch you
good.
on later.
All right. I'll talk to you in a little bit, man. Yep, it'll be a short commercial break. We'll be doing some sailplane racing. That's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be racing sailplanes. I don't know if you've ever seen anything like that or heard of anything like that, but it's racing. Racing is racing. If you like racing, you should enjoy it. All right, look at that. Oh, I got spam. What a joke. Grinding X4. Yep. Like I said, I'll be taking a break. I'll be back in about 45 minutes, and go build a station. You know, go work on building a station. Save your game. Well, you've got a save game. Do a fork of your save game and build a station. I think you'll enjoy it. Build yourself a tier one mining station. All right. And I'm going to continue to grind out here. And we will see. Alright, well, you have a good one. And I will talk to you later. As for me and what I'm going to do, I'm going to save this thing and get off here for a bit. Save game. Alright, you guys have a good one. We'll talk to you in a bit.